Hi everybody, I'm here to do a stream for all the guitar students out there. So we'll be going through the topics that we sent through in the work this week. And also if you've got any questions, please do leave a comment because I'd love to be able to answer them on stream for you. And if other people have got the same questions. Hi Ed, if anyone else has questions as well in the class but can't watch live, you may help them out in a few days' time when they do come to watch the stream. So if you've got any questions, please do pop them in a comment for me. Great. So first of all, let's take a look at Blink. Now we're looking at page 25 here of the book. Task 1. So we can see we've got kind of repeated patterns here. So splitting it up into groups is going to be a useful thing to do. So first of all, we're just going to look at bars 1 and 2. So we've got an open B, and an open G. And then 2 on the G. And then you've got those 2 opens again. So we've got like so. So, yes, bars 1 to 4 is what we're focusing on here. So, try and make sure you use your middle finger here because it will help you. If you look further through the song, you can see that we have a fret 1. In bar 7, the fret 1 gets involved. So, if we're using our first finger here, then when we get to fret 1, we will need to reposition anyway. So, it's good to start with your middle finger on fret 2. And then when we need to go, you can see we're in position already to do that. So try and use your second finger here in the bar 2 and the bar 3 when we're using in fret 2. So this is bar 1 and 2. Okay, so bar 3 goes like this. Sorry. And you can see bar 4 has no content, but if you look at the notation above, and I'll show you where I'm looking here, it is there. So you see we've got no tablature content, but we do have something in the notation. Now this tie here means that it's added to the previous note. So you're going to play this note and then you're going to hold it for a whole 4 beats throughout this whole bar here. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go back into it. And so if you wanted to look ahead, you could see that bar 5 and 6 are the same as bar 1 and 2. So you can go back into it like that. So let me play you through some sequences here. So we go, I'm going to play the first line, bar 1 to 6. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the first line of Blink. Now this is a very fast track. If you've listened to the backing track for it, you can hear it's very fast. So we're not looking to go fast at this stage. At this stage, we're looking to play the notes in the right order. So don't sort of try and rush it. Correctly is the way to go for this one. So moving on, we're going to have a look at some chords. Now I hope you all got on okay with the chords from last week. So this time we're expanding it to the next 3. But of course, if you're struggling with the previous 3, do focus some more on those because it's always good to nail something before you move on. But for this week's lesson, so we're looking at the C major chord, the D chord, which I know we've been studying for a little while anyway, and the E minor chord. So this E minor chord is a really nice and easy one. This is A2 with your first finger and D2 with your second finger, strumming all the way through the strings. Really important that you don't touch the E string here. We need to be able to hear that E string because obviously it's an E chord. So we're going to go through all the strings like so. I wish my guitar was in tune. Right, so the next chord, of course, is a D. Now, I know we've been studying this for a little while, so let me just blitz through this quickly. So we're going to take our middle finger and we're going to put it on E2. Third finger goes on B3. First finger on G2. Fingertips, as always, very important. I'm going to strum through the chord like this. And I am going to quickly tune my guitar. Does anybody have any questions? I can see I've got a couple of viewers, people watching the stream. Please do let me know who you are, because it's always nice to know who's watching. Also, if you've got any questions, please leave me a comment, and I'd love to answer them for you. Okay, so we've got E minor, D, C is the next chord. So how we're going to build this is from the top to the bottom. Which song has one of those chords? You're one step ahead of me. Just stick about for a few minutes and we will get there. So for our first finger, it's going to be on the B string, first fret. Now fingertips, because we want to hear the E string. And then your middle finger is going to go fret 2 on the D. Again, fingertips, because we need to hear the open G. And third fret on the A. So you've got this almost diagonal, but it's not completely diagonal, because this makes an F major 7 chord. So it needs to be on the D and the A strings like this. Now it's really important with this chord that the open G is ringing out. So when you play this chord, make sure that you check this open G and the open E. You need to be able to hear both of these. Okay. So the 3 chords from this week: C, D, E minor. Now, Edward, so the 3 chords from last week, we had G, A minor, and B minor. So with the 3 chords from this week and the G major, you can play hundreds of songs. So E minor, G, D, and C. These chords in multiple orders, you may have heard of the 4 chord song, or it's just a bit of a pop culture thing that lots of pop music is made up of 4 chords. Now it's these 4 chords. So you can put these in any order and it just sounds like a different song. But specifically, let's have a look at our next task, which is page 26, knocking on heaven's door. So we're going to be looking at the next line of here. So bar 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if we're looking on page 26, we can see we've got G, D, A minor. And then we've got G, D, C. So we're going for 1 strum on each of these, and we go G, 2, D, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, D, 4, C, 2, 3, 4. Now, when you're changing between G and D in these chords, there's a little trick you can do. So G, D, which one of my fingers didn't move? It's this guy. So you can see they're both in this chord. So how to change between these two? G, you're going to lead with your middle finger, and as you're doing that, your first will follow. And then all you got to do is take your third finger out, and you're in position. Now you can always put it in. It creates a D sus4 chord, which is very nice. Recognized from. G, D. Then it goes to B minor. within that song, which is a chord from last week. So again, going through Knocking on Heaven's Door, G, D, A minor, G, D, C. Now, why not try and repeat this? G, D, bearing in mind this change here, the third finger is staying in. That's very important to do, okay? Cool. So this chord sequence, if you can really nail this chord sequence, this is going to be a very useful thing for your playing, you know, not just increasing, but I still play this when I'm playing songs and teaching other students. I still play these chord sequences. And when I learn a song, it's those chords again. So you can have a look at a song, look at the chord charts and go, I already know how to play this. I just need to change the order of a song I already know. For example, Ed Sheeran often does E minor, G, C, D, E minor, G, C. And that will sound familiar for you guys probably because lots of pop music is built with these chords. So this is a really good thing to have in your repertoire, guys. Really, really valuable to have. So work your way. If you've got those three, then go back to page 20 and work your way through all of those chords. And you'll see that below, there are some exercises here to get you changing between the chords. So exercise 1 is that chord sequence that we were looking at earlier. So G, E minor, C, D, G, E minor, C, D. Now, again, so the G to E minor change, you notice this first finger can stay in position for it. You may, if you're positioned right at the top of the fret for G, which is not a problem, you may need to just shove back a little bit to get yourself into E minor here. And D to G, as we were saying, G to D is easy. D to G, again, just do the reverse. So lead with your middle, first finger comes with it, third finger does not move. Third finger stays in there, and you can just do the reverse of that. And exercise 2 introduces an A minor instead of a D, instead of a C, sorry. So we got G, E minor, A minor, D. Which I'm sure will also sound familiar to many of you out there as well. So chords is going to be the main focus of this week's practice for all you guys, hopefully. The E minor is something you should actually start with as a warm-up. So E minor is always a good chord to start with. Make sure you're pressing down hard enough, because from here you can then change to G. And you can then change to D pretty easily. And you see I'm just pivoting around the fretboard here. There's no major changes between E minor, G, and D. So if you want to practice your chord changes, that's a really good sequence to do. E minor, G, D. And of course, C gives you Old Town Road, among many other songs. Cool. So the last topic for this week, page 31, Unstoppable. Again, we're looking at these chords again. So this piece prepares you for the chords found in songs like Ziggy Stardust, which is what I was playing earlier. Which is what I was butchering right there. So we got the G, and then you see the next chord is a G/A. So all that means is that we've got an A in the bass. So the lowest note is going to be an A. So we're going to take the middle finger away, and we also need an A. So we're going to take the first finger away, and then you'll notice that we have the chord. So it's G. Take these two fingers away, strum from the A string, and you get this nice G/A chord. And now we have a very common chord, G/B. So it's second fret on the A string, gives you that B in the bass. And then straight after that, we have a chord called C add 9. Now, C add 9 is just a G with these two fingers moved down. One of my favorite chords. So going through these 4 chords: G, G A, G B, C add 9, and again G, G A, G B, C add 9. Does anyone have any questions before I leave the stream? Any questions at all? Okay, cool. Happy practicing. Again, try and practice 4 times a week, but every day will just increase your playing so much, at least 15 minutes at a time. Happy practicing, everybody, and I'll see you next week.